We are on day 11 and I am so excited to tell you what I've been working on. Because our first curling video was so successful and so many of you guys learned so much from it, I'm going to do a whole curl series. So for the next 5 to 6 days, we are going to cover every curled hairstyle you can possibly imagine. But instead of using a curling iron like we used in the first video, we're going to use a curling rod. So the basic difference is a curling iron has a clamp on it. It opens up and down. There's a hinge. You put your hair inside of it, just like what we went over in the first video. But a curling rod is just one piece. So it's just one very, very hot piece of metal that you wrap your hair around. But the reason I love curling rods is because there's so much that you can do with them. You can do big bouncy waves. You can do true beachy waves. You can do V curls. You can do really tight curls. There's just so much that you can do with them. They're so versatile. And I think it's really important that you learn how to use both the curling iron, which we already learned, and also how to do any type of hair curling that you want with a curling rod. Plus they're super fast. They heat up really nicely. I love curling rods. Plus, I'm doubly as excited because I partnered with my friends at Amika Hair to really make this week awesome for you. I picked them because they are the leaders in the curling industry. They have the most incredible products and the most incredible heat tools. And also on top of that, they really firmly believe that they want all women to just love their hair. And that's what this whole curling series is about. It's about helping you love your hair more than you do, helping you learn to branch out, try new things, and take some risks, and just push yourself beyond your normal, comfortable limits, and love your hair. So it seems like a really great fit. We're super excited about it. We have some really fun stuff planned, some really great tutorials, and a really big giveaway that I will link to in the bottom of this video. So today I'm going to show you just the basics of curling your hair with the curling rod, the different kind of curls you can achieve, so that when we jump into each individual tutorial, you're totally ready. All right, so let's get to it. Okay, so if you want a very big loose wave, you're going to take about 1.5 inches of hair, and you're just going to hold the barrel upside down and just very loosely wrap it around, leaving a good amount of space in between each wrap. You'll see that there's some space here and some space here, and then you just simply pull it apart. You see that? You have a bigger wave. Now, if we wanted to do a tighter wave, on this side, we take the same amount of hair and twist it first and wrap it around. Whoopsies. Wrap it closer together. This is going to make sure that the curl is really tight. A little bit. Also, this comes with a heating glove. I feel like I've just been doing this for so long I don't need one, but for beginners, oh my god, I burned myself in the process. Okay, so you'll see that this curl is a little bit longer, it's a lot looser. You brush it out with your fingers, make it very, loose and moldable. And this curl is a little bit tighter, so there's a little bit more bounce to it, but it's pretty tight. I would probably, if I was doing a curl that was even tighter than this, use a smaller rod, like probably the 18 millimeters. But you can tell that just by adding some space in between the wrap, like we did here, it gives us a larger curl. Adding more space just means it's just wrapping it around less times, and we get like a bigger, beachier desired effect, as opposed to when we are using smaller amounts of hair and wrapping it very tightly. We're going to get obviously a tighter, smaller curl. Okay, if you are new to this and you're not quite sure how comfortable you feel holding a 370-degree tool, without the end on it, where you can hold it on a curling iron. I mean, this gets up to 430 degrees, so this is really hot. It comes with a heat protectant glove that you can use to wrap your hair around and get as close to the barrel as possible. I don't normally use it just because I feel like I'm pretty skilled at this, but I have been burnt many a time just by moving too quickly, accidentally dropping it. I actually just burned myself the other day just because I'm going too fast. So it's important to know that if you're not super sure or you're not super skilled, use the heat resistant glove. I'm going to use it now just so you can kind of see how it works. But it really is an incredible little thing that I would recommend because it hurts when you burn yourself. These things are just so hot. Sometimes we forget that, or sometimes, like myself, I'm just going too fast. So I do want to show you one last really simple thing to make sure that you got the technique down. what you'll do is you'll take your curling iron. This is my all-time favorite cheat tool. You just, if you want to just curl these front pieces, obviously these are a little bit curled, but if you just want to, if you're running later, you wake up later, you're on the go, or you get out of the shower, you blow dry your hair, and you just want to add a little bit around your face, this is the easiest thing. You take this, take about 1.5 inches, hold the curling iron upside down, and just wrap it once or twice. Really, really simple. And you see how the heat-resistant glove is holding the piece that's right near the barrel? This keeps it from getting my hands too hot. You just pull it off. And there you go. Look how easy that was. So really what I think it's important for you to know before we jump into this whole curl series is that when you are using the curling rod, 1, if you're not familiar with it, get a glove. 2, all that you're really doing is holding it upside down and wrapping your hair around it. Whether we're doing a really tight curl or a really loose beachy wave with tons of space in between, there's lots of different ways, and we're going to go through all of them, but you'll see how fast it goes, so don't hold it on your hair for very long, otherwise you might accidentally end up burning it. Okay, so before we jump into the next 6 days of hair tutorials where I show you how to do the entire head, let's just review the basics. All that you're doing to use a curling rod is holding it upside down, taking your section of hair, and wrapping it around the barrel. Remember, if you're new to this, use the glove. If you feel like you're comfortable, totally up to you. And then hold it on there for about 7 to 10 seconds. And then just pull it apart. And that's really all there is to it. It's not any more complicated. The most complicated it gets is when we figure out if we're doing a bigger wave, how much space we put in between, if we're doing a smaller wave, how tight do we get it. But those are all the things we're going to go over this week. Make sure you check out the blog so you can see how you can win your own 4P curler. I'm so excited to show you guys how to do all these curls. If you have any suggestions or pictures of things that you'd like to learn how to do, send them my way. This is totally the week that you and I collaborate together and give you exactly all of the tools you need to create the hair that you've always wanted to know how to do. So, thanks so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.